25 basis points, 25 bips, however the hell you want to say it. The Fed funds rate is now to 4.75 to 5%. Jay Powell just got done speaking. It was as hawkish as I was expecting. The markets have no idea what they're doing right now. It is just ping pong back and forth. And goddamn, is it a fun day here in the markets. As we get going on today's show, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. Nothing we say here is financial advice. We are a couple guys who love talking about the markets, love following this stuff, being active, but do your own research. Maybe this is a small part of that research. Kevin, great, very exciting day today. Like, this is one of those days where I'm very happy that I'm set up to buy the dip if the dip happens, or enjoy the rip if that happens. And right now we've seen both of them. As soon as the announcement came out of 25 basis points, it was just a piss missile straight up. And then Jerome Powell started speaking, and that's what, and this is where I was expecting it. And then as soon as he started talking, we saw a lot of volatility. And if you were trying to trade that volatility, I mean, Godspeed for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But man, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is such an exciting day. This is what we live for. We kind of knew, again, the macro, what he was going to say. He's pretty much said the same thing for the past 9-10 meetings. Point is, this time I think he was a little bit more hawkish, and the market.
Well, also he started off talking about banking, which, like, he before he even got into their decision, I think he's seen how much fear there is around banks and people's safety, the people's financial safety. And so I think he wanted to squash that right away, which I kind of like that. I think it was like the right thing to do. Just like, hey, we know that this is what everyone's thinking about, what everyone's going to ask me about. So I think that was pretty sharp.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I mean, I think he came out and said again, you made a great call yesterday. You said exactly what was going to happen. And he said everything that we had been talking about for a while. Obviously, the labor market is extremely it's not high
robust. It's very robust right now.
That's a good, yeah, exactly. It's extremely high. How many people, unemployment's extremely low right now. And he obviously hinted at that. He talked about that, how it needs to go up, obviously. He talked about how inflation is too high still. They want to hit that 2% rate, and that they're going to continue raising rates. They don't see a point where they're going to cut rates this year. So there's a lot of stuff that he had mentioned. And it's really interesting because the markets were at one point just saying there's going to be no rate hike this time around. And they said that they considered it. Obviously, with everything that's going on in banking. However, I think that they're staying steadfast to their commitment to bringing down inflation, and it shows today with this 25 basis points. So I think it's going to make a huge difference. Not necessarily, maybe, right at the end of this battle, but for the time being, this is exactly what the market needs, a little dose of reality. We got him to say exactly what the markets need to hear, because it's extremely overbought, and people are getting way too bullish. So when greed comes in, sometimes you need that reality check. And I think Paul brought that today.
Yeah, absolutely. He mentioned how, they've acted decisively to shore up deposits in the banks and to make it known that people's money is safe. And I think that action, like that quick action, also gave them the confidence to go with the 25 basis points. He stated in there that the new target rate is 5.1%. So you might be wondering, like, what that really means. So right now it's a range. It's never exactly like 5%. Okay. So now it's a range. And this is for people who don't know what I'm talking about here, of 4.75 to 5%. So them saying the target rate of 5.1 is a very clear indicator that their current plan is to raise 25 basis points when they meet again for the next announcement on May 3rd. So the next Fed meeting is May 2nd and May 3rd. There's no meeting in April. So and that could change very quickly, because he's, once again, like, I think people try to I don't think Powell's as complex of a guy as people like make it out to be. Like, I think everyone tries to get out over their skis to like sensationalize things and be the person to like try to get something right, when Powell just very clearly tells us exactly what the fuck he's going to do. We know what the goal is, and we know what numbers to look at to tell us if they're moving toward that goal. So people who are out here saying like, oh, they're going to cut next time, trying to make these crazy predictions, it's like, just listen to what he's saying and look at the data that everyone has available to them. And it's not that damn hard. So it seems very likely, based on, we have PCE data next Friday, I believe. And then in April, we go back, we have unemployment, we got CPI, PPI, another round of PCE. So we will have plenty of data points when it comes time for the May meeting. Now, in that span of time, could another banking collapse happen? I guess so. There was one interesting thing that was brought up, and I've heard people talking about, people much smarter than me, and that was regarding commercial real estate. I heard some people discussing like SVB, the Fed's been raising rates trying to get something to break. Well, the banking didn't break. There was like, it moved a bit, but it didn't snap. And so now people are wondering, is commercial real estate going to be the thing that breaks and causes the Fed to stop? There's a lot of concern around smaller regional banks because many of them have, are the ones who give mortgages to a lot of commercial real estate. So that's been something I've heard discussed as well. We go back to talking about like, the housing market and commercial real estate. I think we need to like find someone to come on and like who really knows this stuff and talk to us. That'd be great. But that's one area of concern I've heard smarter people have. So I think we still haven't seen the Fed break what they want to. And it does really feel like they're going to push us into a recession. The question around a soft landing came out and Powell immediately stuttered. Like, so I was like, so you still think you guys have a chance at a soft landing? He was, like it was so, it was not confidence inspiring at all. So I think the Fed is doing, that bus has definitely left the station. We're still seeing this volatility and just watching the charts. The VIX took another sharp leg down. The VIX is at just above 20 now. DXY at 102. Most of the markets are just kind of, the TradFi markets are trading sideways. Jesus Christ, NVIDIA is just absolutely going nuclear today. Wish I hadn't have sold some of mine there, but I'm still holding a nice bag of that. So we love to see it. Yeah, man, it was a wild one. Like, did you listen to Powell speak at all? Or were you mainly just like looking at the numbers and reading the report?
A little bit of both. I heard him speak. I didn't catch the beginning too much. I caught the second half, obviously, when he's talking about banking and some of the Q&A. Again, he was really putting the emphasis in that Q&A that, banking is fine. Depositors should, expect that their deposits are safe for the time being. Could that change? Absolutely. I don't necessarily think that the banking crisis is over. That's just me maybe being a little bit bearish and a little bit realistic and trying to be on the safer side. Obviously, I still don't believe you can't put your money anywhere where you're 100% safe right now. Maybe your mattress if you have a fireproof bed sheets, but that's about it. But yeah, it's extremely crazy right now. Powell was talking tons about what was he saying? He was talking about, obviously they considered that 0 basis point hike, and obviously that was just out of the question. So again, like you said, he's super predictable. I think maybe not necessarily willing to break things as fast as we would like, just to rip the Band-Aid off. But at the end of the day, what's realistic for them to do? If they're committed to bringing down inflation, they're going to raise rates. I mean, it's pretty simple. I think the market priced in 25 basis points. Maybe some of the market priced in no hike at all, and that's why we saw a huge liquidation up and down super fast. And I see it more so with Bitcoin. Oh my gosh, Bitcoin's 27.6 right now. Not necessarily, go ahead.
It touched 28.9 for a second there. It wicked up to just under 29,000. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't understand that. What's that?
So remember that supply zone range?
Yeah.
Top of it was 28.89.
Was it really? Have you looked at the chart? Because that's right around where it touched. It looks like it touched 28.866. So you were it's like right at the top of that.
Let's pull this up just because I want people to see exactly what we were talking about. Yeah, there it is. On the 1 day chart, this is the supply range. Look at that, right to the top. So I'm going to pat myself on the back. Obviously, I had no skin in the game, but it just seemed like we had to test those wicks that were the monthly wicks from back in like January, May, June, July of 2021. And we did. Again, could it trade somewhere in this range for a period of time? Could it still break out of it? Absolutely. But hitting that top of that supply range, maybe there's a little bit of distribution going on. Maybe people are starting to offload some of their Bitcoin. But man, that was just to the T. I'm very excited. This is why I love days like today. It's just so exciting. Yeah. Even if the price isn't going in the direction you want, I mean, how can you not love this game? This is amazing.
It's fun, man. It's a good day to, like I said, just kind of sit back, watch everything play out, get some takeaways from it. Like the people who are trying to trade it
Definitely.
are so stressed out at the moment. And I'm enjoying the vibes, man. I'm nerding out. This is like a financial nerd's dream kind of day. And
Absolutely.
so, I'm having fun with it. Appreciate everyone who's watching along with us as well.
Yeah. Thanks,
I
guys.
also saw, it looks like Bank of England they've made it pretty clear they're going to have to continue raising rates as well. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I don't think Balaji's 1 million Bitcoin prediction is looking too great. I think that he, may end up losing those bets. We'll see if something changes, but I wouldn't be too confident if I were him. And yeah, it's just going to be a lot of up and down. I think, my takeaway in the past has been, however we end the day of the presser, we usually go the other direction the following day. Like
Yeah.
it seems like people react really strongly after Powell is talking, and then they sleep on it, cooler heads prevail, and we move in a different direction. Now it's not me telling you, like, if we go red and to go long the next day, like that's just something I've noticed over time. We got Mr. House. Yes, $1 million Bitcoin. He was also adjusted attention. Yeah, 100%. I was praying like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, biology. Hilarious, Siri. Hilarious. Yeah, no, that's a great point, though. I mean, it just goes to show you how dumb money is in the market right now. Are we really excited about $1 million Bitcoin? We're not doing any hard work. We're just expecting this thing to go to the moon. It's probably a good time.
Apparently,
That's such a. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a local top, but that's like top type comments. I mean, that's like when you screenshot at 69K and be like, "Oh my goodness, this is going 200K." It's very,
yeah.
and again, when everything is going to shit, this is like, you really think Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million? My ass sucks buttermilk. It is not going to $1 million. It's not even going to 40K right now. We got a long road ahead of us, and Jerome Powell pretty much just said that we're gonna go raise rates. We're not going to cut them for the rest of the year, most likely. Man, this is just going to be exciting. And then Q1's next month. The end of Q1, we're going to get the earnings next month. So I'm super excited. This is an exciting one. We're not going to get any rates next month, but we're going to have tons of data. I'm living for this time. I'm grateful to be alive.
Did he say it was out of the question to cut rates this year? Because I'm just looking at the calendar as far as when the meetings line up. Like I said, no April meeting. We have a meeting May 3rd, and then it's June, July, September, November, December. So there's after the next hike, there's 5 more meetings, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they ended the year at the December one, and they maybe cut it a little bit then.
Yeah, what I saw was, let's see, I saw it earlier. It was most likely that they weren't going to cut. I mean, again, if they easily could later in the year, we have to see how the data plays out. But it wasn't in their forecast for the time being. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out over the next few months. And again, I think that with what has happened with the banking crisis, there's a lot of data that is probably going to come back revised. And this might have been just to prevent a bank run. And I think that the fact that Biden comes out the day before CPI comes out, what was that, a week ago or so, and numbers come in exactly to the T, what we were expecting, what the estimation was. And then the past few months, we've seen some revisions that have shown things maybe aren't as rosy as people would like to paint them. I think we're going to see a revision. I think inflation has spiked. But again, we're going to see how that plays out over the next few prints. And I think the Fed is just going to keep trying to do their thing. They're going to raise rates. I mean, I'm just going to listen to Powell at this point. I mean, there's no point in fighting the Fed. Even if you don't agree with him, you don't like him, the dude's just going to do his job. It's the only thing he's got left to do. It's going to be, I mean, unless he's going to fight with Elizabeth Warren in like Celebrity Death Match, if you remember that from Spike TV.
Oh, yeah. That was from MTV back. No, dude, that was MTV.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're showing how young you are. I remember that when that shit first came out on MTV back in the day. Youngin'.
That was like the 90s, wasn't it?
Ace is asking if you're rocking a starter's jacket. Is that an Arizona Coyotes jacket?
Yeah, it's a Yotes jacket, but it's Adidas. I'm not a Yotes fan. I'm a huge Vegas Golden Knights fan, but yeah, definitely a hockey fan. Thanks for noticing, Ace.
Oh, that is awesome. All right. Any other takeaways you had from Powell's presser?
Nothing from Powell specifically. Again, a lot of it was things that we had kind of anticipated. I'm more just reacting to how the market is looking. Like it's hilarious. Like you said, it was going up and down spread. I mean, like crazy within that time frame. Again, it's going up and down faster than hookers in a bouncy house. It's the natural gas is dropping like crazy, but then you're seeing oil pump. This is fun. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I think there's tons of plays here. I think there's tons of opportunity. There's a lot of people overreacting right now. And like you said, there could be absolutely a pump tomorrow, and then maybe we close the week a little bit red. Who knows? But again, this is going to take time to play out. I don't think one FOMC meeting is going to crash the market, but it could tell you what the course of action is going to be for the next few months. So definitely take it all in as it comes. But again, my conviction remains that we're going to see more rate hikes. I was happy to hear that he expects unemployment to rise, which is, again, necessary. There was no way that we were going to have lowest record of unemployment in 50-something years, and then, inflation was going to come down. Just not how it works. So really excited.
I mean, if he said,
not excited,
if he says that, and if the unemployment number next time doesn't come down,
I know,
like, watch out. Powell's going to come in like 50 or 75 basis points and just be raging, like absolutely furious.
He cares a lot about unemployment. Like, he's mentioned it a few times. Like, again, this is something I think needs to happen. And that's the thing with tech stocks right now. Everything is pumping. And at the end of the day, these are the jobs where you don't necessarily need a lot of people to be working in these industries. You just need a couple of hardworking, smart people. And maybe in a bull market, obviously there's more spending, there's more money to go around. So you can hire, great employees and stuff like that. But for the time being in a bear market, who cares if Snapchat has an AI? I'm sorry, or it's stuff like that doesn't matter, and you have to go lean if you want to survive. Yeah. Again, did you see the Jim Cramer thing that I sent you earlier? How he was bullish on Nvidia?
Oh yeah.
I was like, knew it. It's a dirty bubble. Everything's going to shit.
Oh,
but
God, like, why can he just shut up? Like, for once in his goddamn life, can Jim Cramer just shut up about my investments, please? Like, I don't need this, Kevin. I don't need this in my life.
The only thing he better not talk about is the dollar right now. He better say the dollar is going to zero. I would love for him to say that right now. But yeah, I think people are overreacting. The fact that the DXY is dumping like crazy right now, and you're seeing some risk assets seeing some red, it's like the market just doesn't know what it wants right now. I love to see it, but the DXY is going to be so oversold on the weekly after this week. We're already seeing the stochastic RSI moving in the negative direction, and it's what, Wednesday? We got 2 more days.
It's just so weird. Like, I'm looking at the chart for like gold and silver right now, and they pumped, but they're also pulling back as the DXY is pulling back and all risk on. Like, no one has any idea what to do. It is chaos, and I fucking love it.
Oh, it's amazing. This is man, I love my job. But the point is, this is just a clusterfuck, and it just shows you how not immature, but how poor people's convictions are in this market. They don't know what to do. And again, that's why you have to look at the macro, whether you're bullish or bearish, and just say, okay, this is where I'm going to position myself. This is my plan. If, prices go up, they go up. If they go down, they go down. But at least I know what my plan is, when I'm going to enter, when I'm going to exit. And you're just seeing tons of information come in. You just got to be eating that up. Like, this just, more than anything, just builds my conviction. The fact that people don't know what they're doing with their money. I love to see it. That's opportunity for so many people who know what they're doing with their money.
Yeah, if most people don't know what to do, but they're still acting on it, then that tells me that if I don't know what to do, I should just sit on my fucking cash and just wait for something to happen. Even though the DXY is dumping, I am not as concerned about my cash going to zero as I was maybe a week ago. So I'm just going to keep chilling, man. Like, I got my long positions. I feel good about that. I'm accumulating cash from selling shit that I don't want to have. And I'm good with that. And we're just going to ride this bitch and not right now. It's not about making the right decisions. It's about not fucking up more than other people. Right. Like, just don't take a bunch of L's. Do not take a bunch of L's. Like, not taking L's is taking a win right now. 100%. Oh, yeah. Like, it just is.
Sometimes inaction is the best course of action. And again, when I woke up this morning and I'm watching Fox Business and CNBC, Bloomberg, and GameStop is up 44%. This isn't 2006. The Nintendo Wii, the PS3, and Xbox aren't coming out. This is not Christmas season. This is fucking insanity. I don't know who's going to GameStop, who's trading in, getting some store credit for 50 PS2 games for 30 cents. But man, this is just wild. Again, that just shows that dumb money is in the market. Oh yeah, let's start. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Doge starts pumping. I'll probably take a look at that tonight. But again, when you start seeing some of these shitcoins pumping, some of these stocks that are, come on, AMC's, the GameStops, we know who that is. We know who pumped the market the first time.
Yeah,
they're coming back for round 2. I don't know if you're gonna win this time, buddy.
It's not fucking institutional money coming in and buying up GameStop. Let's just be 100% on that. Like, it isn't, and there are people who are still gambling. Mr. House here recently went to GameStop, and there are way too many plushies. Maybe that's how they're doing it. Maybe have we looked at their balance sheet and seen the report, and like, did most of their profit come from plushie sales? If so, that's bullish.
Yeah, maybe right? Beanie Babies are coming back. People are putting their money in Beanie Babies of Pokemon characters. I have no idea, but yeah, people don't know where to put their money, so why not GameStop, right? Not financial advice, obviously. I haven't played a video game since the GameCube, so.
Oh man, last game I played all the way through was Breath of the Wild. It was kind of nice. I got COVID pretty bad in November of 2020, which meant I had to be quarantined for 2 weeks. So I got to play through Breath of the Wild, which was honestly quite the treat. So there's that. All right, back to more pressing things. Yeah, man, it just feels like just wait and out. Like, have more patience than the people. Like right now, I've been on record saying I'm not much of a trader. However, now is when you can see who's a trader and who's a fucking gambling addict, because there are some people who have to have action right now. If they don't have action, if they aren't leverage trading, they're going to lose their minds. That's called a gambling addiction. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm seeing people talking about leverage trading during today's meeting. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, that is crazy. Like, no one knows what the market's going to do right now. And if you think that Joe Schmo at home, who is 50x leverage trading on KuCoin, is the one who's going to figure it out, then you need to lose every cent you have before you learn your lesson. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And obviously, I was doing a pretty good amount of trading last year. I did my taxes yesterday. Going to get my ass kicked by the government, but it's okay. I set myself up for a position where if I do get capital, if I do pretty well next year in the bull run, I'm going to be set for some tax harvesting. But point is, I was trading back in September, right after the Fed pretty much crashed the market after they raised rates. And I stopped right around October because I was like, something's fishy. And that was because FTX. I haven't touched any assets since. I absolutely have just been looking at it. Maybe I do want to go in the market and trade a little bit, but I just don't trust it, man. And, the further we get into this, the more dangerous this game gets. And I am just I'm not willing to risk something that, sure, I can make a few $1,000 here, but am I going to put in most of my skin just to make a few $1,000? No, not at all. It just seems idiotic to be in the markets right now if you are either small or you're just, trying to make the biggest gains possible. Sometimes you got to outweight people in this game. Like what do you always say? It's about bringing. You say it better than me. So you know what I'm talking about. You can say it.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what you're trying to get me to say right here.
No, it's like about being patient, and then other people not being patient. You always said it on the old show.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, it's just the markets move money from the impatient to the patient. I think that was a Warren Buffett quote. Like, that was not me. I did not come up with that.
No, you're a new Warren Buffett on this channel.
I don't know about all that, but it is, I appreciate doing a show with a technical analyst like yourself who doesn't constantly have to have skin in the game. It's okay. Like, you can listen to the advice of people who aren't constantly trading, because sometimes, if they lie. Let's look at it from a long, look at your time horizon too, right? Like, you're trying to make these gains now because you're trying to make, a few bucks here and there. But I'm looking long-term. My goal is to retire when I'm 45, 50 years old. I don't want to work my whole life. And that doesn't mean that I need to be constantly trading now. It means I need to wait until I see that one opportunity to get the most bang for my buck and move money in at that point. And that's what I'm going to do. Right. Because that's what I'm looking for. Is I want to be able to create a portfolio both in stocks and real estate that allows me to not have to work for anybody else. And for Kevin and I just to bullshit on fucking YouTube, because that to me is more fun than most jobs. So, that's the goal. The goal is to accumulate as much wealth as possible. And that doesn't mean, that means being selective. It's like playing poker. You don't. The people who play every hand are the ones who go broke. The ones who pick their spots, know when to be aggressive, know when to take their foot off the gas. Those are the ones who are cleaning up, right? Like this is a game just like any other one. And you have to have a strategy, and that strategy has to adapt to the current conditions. And if you're employing the same strategy you were back in, 2020, like late 2020, early 2021, when the markets were going fucking bananas, you're going to lose right now. You just are. So like you have to be ready to adapt to it.
100%. And for me, it's freedom, privacy, and family. That's all that this game is about. Just make your gains. Like this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not going to tell you when to get in and when to get out. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dumb 25-year-old kid that just loves to see markets, loves seeing numbers go up and down. And I see opportunity in the stock market, in the crypto market. And I think there's going to be an absolute runoff in the next bull run. But we got to survive to that point. And I took a loss last year. I did. I took a little bit of a loss, but that was because I knew that having cash was the play. And if that means, obviously people were making money in the meantime, good for them. That's their plan. For me, it's just about being patient, taking advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime. If you're a WWE fan, be the Rated R Superstar Edge. That dude won the Money in the Bank, waited a year to cash in on John Cena at the Elimination Chamber, and he won. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
That's all you got to do. So that's all I'll say about that.
For sure. Yeah, I am finishing up my taxes as well. I had a lot of gains in 2021 because, I'll pat myself on the back. I was selling a lot near the top. Nice. And then I had to pay a bunch of taxes last year. And then this year, I'm not really going to have to pay taxes because the focus, like I took, my gains, I sat on that. And last year, I didn't really sell much of anything because I saw everything bleeding. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to sell into this panic right now. I'm not in a position where I'm going to miss a mortgage payment. So just be prepared and, don't get too high. Don't get too low. We got to stay even keeled. And right now, the market is not even keeled. And that means that we have an advantage if we can keep our heads in the right place.
Couldn't agree more. Mr. House, 100%. Rated R Superstar. Love that guy. Sorry.
All right. I think that is a good place. All good. That is a good place to wrap it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be on the crypto side, looking at the Arbitrum airdrop. Kevin and I are going to begin our trading of that tomorrow. That should be kind of fun. We'll get that all set up and ready to rock. We'll keep like an ongoing tally of how our little portfolio there is going and see what we can do. Maybe we can all go to Olive Garden at some point with the money that we make from that. So definitely looking forward to that. Touching on crypto a bit more, we'll see the fallout of the Fed meeting. It should be an interesting day in the market tomorrow as well. So appreciate everybody for being here. Awesome show. Had a great time. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. If you don't mind sharing us out on social media, that is greatly appreciated. Twitter, wherever. That means a ton to us. So thank you everybody for being here. Ace, Mr. House, you guys are awesome. Riggs, if you were watching, appreciate you. All of our few regulars, you guys mean the world to us. So Kevin, I'll be back tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, take care, everyone.